Shalom all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and I am so excited to be bringing you into another segment of Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life. And I'm super pumped about this one because my fabulous producer Keone and I had a really cool friend date night last Thursday. And he introduced me, and you guys are your mind is going to be blown, and we'll talk about it later. But he introduced me to someone that I had never come across or never heard about before in my life. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to let Keone step in. He's got some fun little clips, and we're going to chat with you about our experience. So Keone, take it away.
Yeah, the fun clips. It was so funny, everyone, because me being, some people can't tell from my voice, Stacy, but me being a black guy from the hood, and when I told you one day, I said, Mucho, Mucho, Amor, with you and Dwayne clapped, and you were like, what? And I was like, you've never heard that before? And you were like, no. And I'm like, Stacy, you're a psychic. How have you never heard of Walter Mercado? And you're like, what? And I'm like, Walter Mercado? And I'm like trying to explain to her the comment that this guy was in the 80s, and she just looked at me with the blank face. So I was like, we're having date night, we're gonna watch it on Netflix. And so we did this little thing where we got online, because of course we live in two different states, and we kind of stream watched it together, and it was extremely fun. You had a good time, right?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was the best way to spend a night.
It was the greatest way to spend the night. And so for those of you who have no idea who Walter Mercado is, I suggest you go on Netflix and watch Mucho, Mucho, Amor. But we're going to show you a clip, not a clip, a preview of the actual documentary. And then we're going to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, I'm ready.
El señor Walter Mercado.
Walter Mercado.
Walter Mercado.
Que ha salido para ti, Acuario, nada menos que la fortaleza, porque tú estás fuerte ahora, ¿eh?
We grew up with him. I can't think of an English language astrologer that would command the attention of millions of households.
Escorpio, te pones ahora insistente.
Some people who speak English do not understand how loved you are in the Spanish community.
He's very much his own incredible creation.
He's an androgen. He looks like a woman. Sometimes he looks like a man.
He was like one of the biggest characters, yeah. Not just with Spanish TV, anywhere.
But all of a sudden, he disappeared.
The thing that, of course, stands out is the wardrobe, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I looked at that, and the first thing I thought was Liberace. I'm like, oh, he's a little like Liberace, that he's really got that performer soul in him, where he knows how to create a whole scene, create a feeling, create an emotion, as well as create a production. You know, he comes out there and he just wears all these flamboyant capes and all the bejewel bedazzle in there. Oh my God, it just made me smile.
Liberace wishes. The one thing that Liberace had the advantage of is he could wear maybe 10 outfits on the tour because there was no social media, even though, you know, Walter Mercado didn't have social media back then, but you could get away with, you know, going to city and wearing the same outfit or changing it every now and then. This guy was doing a show every day of the week and would just have a different wardrobe every day of the week. It was insane.
Yeah. You know, I found it fascinating in the documentary. He was talking about the weight of some of these cloaks, these capes. And you can tell, I mean, they're like Swarovski crystals and bejewel bedazzle on there. Really heavy. I mean, some of those things he was saying were like 40 pounds. The cat litter bag that I use for my cats is 40 pounds. And oh my God, I have to drag it into the frickin' house. I can't even imagine having to be on stage and wearing it and moving around and also divining at the same time. Like, just wow.
The thing that also gets me is the sea of people. Like when you saw the video and you saw when he would go and do a public event and the sea of people as if the Pope was in town or it was the Beatles or something. And then I'm like, that's an astrologer. And you were like, in my wildest dreams, I would have never. And I'm like, yeah, but it already happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like the fact that it happened in the era that it happened is kind of mind blowing. You know, I want to say he was a trailblazer. He was ahead of his time. And, you know, we often celebrate artistry after the artist has passed. And I feel like this is a little bit like that. I mean, obviously, you know, he was part of this documentary, so he was a part of that, but it was being made while he was in his later years. And, you know, I'm glad that he got a chance to experience that. Because wow, like what an artist he was. What an artist. And from an emotional and an energetic perspective, I was like this the whole time, with the exception of some of the you know, the sadder, more poignant moments.
Well, the cute intimate moment for you guys is because, you know, Netflix will not let you show something on. We were trying to watch it on Zoom and I was trying to share my screen. So I had to do something fancy with my camera and turn it around. But she couldn't see a lot of the captions, so I had to read them. So it's like I had to work.
Blurred. It was the most bizarre thing. I get like every third word would be clear. Yeah. But the rest of it was almost like it was grayed out. It was a bizarre experience, but it was still fun. I loved it. Do you have in here a clip of him where he was showing the jewels that he was wearing?
I think it might be
being humble.
I think it might be in the preview, but if not, I will show a picture. But
okay, awesome, because that made me giggle.
Yo tengo la teoría que tal vez no quiso envejecer ante las cámaras.
¿Puedo decirle edad?
No. Since the moment I was born, I know that I was not like everybody. Everything about me was different.
He made you stop. He had the stop quality.
He made me the most well-known psychic of this world.
I can guarantee you Walter did not make millions on that. He didn't have someone really looking out for him.
Entonces, ahí es que empiezan los problemas.
You use a cape because you're a superhero. And I see Walter as a superhero.
I'm a fortune teller, but I don't like to know my future. I just want to enjoy this moment of my life.
El amor es la razón de todo. El amor es el alfa y el omega. El amor es la razón de vivir. Y que reciban de mí siempre paz.
Oh my God. Like I have to say, like, you were telling me about this guy or whatever, and I was like, okay, you know, let's just have a date night and do that. And that sounds like a lot of fun. I am so sad that I did not have this experience when everybody else had this experience. And I'm watching this and I'm just like, oh my God, I would have loved to have met him. Like you can tell he just exudes joy. He exudes happiness. He lifts everybody's spirits. And from my perspective, I would say he was a starseed. He was a starseed who showed up to bring everybody into the present moment and to shake things up. So I see that you're putting the picture up there with his jewels. So one of the parts of the documentary that made me fucking giggle so hard is that they're showing he's picking his jewels, his rings out of his jewelry box, and there's this ginormous one, like it's huge. It's like this big on his hand. And someone says, oh, that he made a comment about, oh, this is a smaller, one of the smaller rings from whatever designer it was. And someone says, oh, like, are you really gonna wear that? And he says, well, yes, of course, it's humble. It's
yeah,
so
and
humble.
he used to always say that. He's like, I'm gonna put this on a table.
I died because I was like, I have some of that diva in me too, where I like to every once in a while find a piece that is a real statement piece. And my mother makes fun of me all the time. She rolls her eyes with some of the, the jewelry that I choose. For example, I have a dragonfly ring that literally goes over the whole hand. And my mother just rolls her eyes at that because she's like, you always have to be something, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not doing it to gain attention. I'm doing it because I fucking love the dragonfly. And it's humble. It's humble.
It's humble. No, that's her new thing.
It.
Well, a documentary wouldn't be a documentary without its low points. So we had to get through that. And
That was
not
hard.
going too deep for you all are going to watch it. Just he was as usual. When you're trusting someone, you get done very dirty, and the person that did him dirty till this day thinks he did the right thing.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Well, that person is dying on their sword because they'd rather be right and than happy. But I mean, you have to wake up in the morning and live with yourself every single day, knowing that you did that to such an incredible soul. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. We're all,
That's not a problem, Stacey. But the thing you have to understand is that's a problem for you. That's a problem for me. But there's people in this world that's not a problem for.
Yeah.
You feel bad if you did that and you wake up every morning. It's just like and just like in life, someone who cheats on their spouse and you could see it eating away at them. And then someone that does it and doesn't give two bleeps and they'll do it again next week, and they're comfortable with it. So those are those people in the world. But he got the happy ending, which is the best part. You got the happy ending. And the thing is very large in Hispanic community. Of course, he was out of Puerto Rico, but he was one of those people that transcended races and barriers. Because like I said, my grandmother used to watch. We're not Hispanic. And if you came in there when he was talking, you get smacked in the face. Shut up. He's getting to my sign.
When you told me that, my grandmother, we weren't allowed to talk. We always, Sagittarius is coming up or whatever it was. That it was, my grandmother is telling me to shut up.
You got it. It will, if you watch that video, you will not have, I don't care where you are in life, what stance you are, whether you like astrology or not. You cannot come away from that documentary not appreciating the existence of this guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just such a feel good, even though there was some sadness about his life and how he was treated. I just was left with such a feel good. And I was happy that I had gotten to experience that. And I was also sad that I didn't have the opportunity to experience that with him being on the planet. Cause I mean, he's transitioned now. I think he transitioned in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, but I love that we're doing this on his birthday. So that what I feel is the most beautiful part about it is that he now is transitioned and his legacy still carries on, and he's got a new fan. He's still acquiring fans even after all of this. So all of the awfulness that he went through, not to say it was worth it, but I want to say it matters. It made a difference. And I hope that he's wherever he's at, smiling down on us and saying thank you.